PWO, 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 PWO.
And welcome to PWO. I am your host for the night, Ben from Colorado. With me, let me fix that. With me on Zoom, I have D. White.
That's the Dean old school to you and your friends.
And we all love him. Some people hate his opinions.
I was like,
Jeff
no,
Hall.
not all of us love him.
The man of the hour, the man of the power, too sweet to be sour.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So we are continuing AEW's Tag Team Appreciation Week today. So I guess with that being said, should we start AEW this week?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We can start off with that, but one of the big things that came out today was that NXT's ratings are like in the toilet. They actually fell out of the top. They're like 65. They fell out of the top 50 shows. So that's not good. So I feel bad because they had a nice old school angle we'll talk about later with a fireball and such. Props to my favorite hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert. He used to like do that too.
Yeah.
Hot stuff.
Yeah. I was talking about that with Matt earlier today. We kind of also, I noticed AEW had a pretty significant drop off from their viewership last week. They were right under 800, but last week they were at like 950?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty significant drop off. We kind of determined it to sports being back, Joe Biden announcing his vice presidential candidate, and there was something else that I don't remember.
Yeah, that happened like late in the afternoon too, so it was like still going on.
Yeah.
So,
it was talking
of things happening.
Yeah, we were also kind of putting that up there with Trump taking away some funds from like the USPS or something like that.
Well, yeah, I don't. Yes, y'all. I don't know about it. I don't think the average person was paying attention to that, but
yeah,
you know,
I had no idea.
Yeah. So let's get on with some AEW.
Let's do it.
We had the Young Bucks defeating Dark Order's Evil Uno and Stu Grayson.
You forgot to mention it was Tag Team Appreciation.
I mentioned that at the top of the hour.
Well, but it was Tag Team Appreciation Night, brought to you by FTR, because remember that was in their contract that we had that.
Yes.
So I was expecting that. I thought the opening match was good. Those guys are working better and better together.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Dark Order was going over. That was just me.
From what I saw of this match, and I kind of just saw some quick highlights. I didn't mind any of the spots from it.
Well, it's funny. I actually watched. Has anybody been watching Impact in 60? The show they got that's coming on after Impact, where they show old matches, and they showed Motor City Machine Guns against Generation Me the other night, and so I had just watched that match, and I watched this match, so I see a couple of Young Bucks matches from a few years ago, and they still, I mean, those guys are still, they work so great as a team, fast pace, and look, I mean, the Dark Order, I mean, Uno and Grayson can keep up with them, and they did. I thought it was a good match.
A lot. It was your typical Young Buck match for me. It wasn't not my cup of tea, but it wasn't a bad match at all. It was more, this match for whatever reason was more your PWG style, if you will. You know what I mean? With a couple of things they were doing. You know who I didn't like? Well, it's not that I didn't like, but like I've known them forever as the Smash Brothers. But Uno's his in-ring character, because he's obviously not the most athletic guy, but you don't have to be. Yeah. His in-ring persona and charisma is really good. And I mean, I'm not body shaming, like, you know what I'm saying, but like maybe if he had a mask off, which that's his gimmick, so I know it's not going to be off, but it just sucks because it looks like he could probably give you a lot more, You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Without, if he didn't have his mask
If
on,
we could see his
mask
facial-
on. Yeah,
Give us some
'cause
facial expressions.
his he kind of has that like old school, well, not old school, but that your ring general Chris Daniels kind of vibe a little bit, Dwight.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what I was noticing too, having watching those two matches, like, and I get it with Cornette why he doesn't like the Young Bucks, because when Matt Jackson sells, he makes the same face no matter what just happened. He makes the same face if he got a body slam. He makes the same face if he just did triple flips off the top rope. It's that same face that he made for like 2 years with the back brace,
Yeah.
And it's,
Or if you crack him over the head and his head splits in half, he'll make the same face.
yeah, same face. And it's like, and I noticed that it didn't help me from enjoying the match. It was a good match.
Yeah.
I can't complain.
And he also, when he fires up, works like Hogan, but not works like Hogan, but he, you can shoot him and he'll run right through it, Jack.
Yep. And I know this is sacrilege to say on the tag team appreciation night, but I really like to see Nick Jackson, man, in some singles matches, because I think that guy can work.
Oh yeah.
He's the worker of the two.
Yes.
So after we had that match, we have an MJF promo again in the ring. Moxley's music hits. He orders all of his security to like make sure Mox doesn't get into the ring, assuming he's going to come in from the entrance ramp, and come in through the crowd, and then he comes in actually through the entrance ramp for the first time ever and attacks Moxley or MJF in the ring.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
That was good.
It was good. It's not that I didn't like it. MJF is weird because he's an old school heel, but what do you think, Dwight? He's not like chicken shit. You know what I mean? Like he is, but he isn't. So I don't know.
Right.
Him getting beaten up was fine. Like it wasn't terrible. Like I understand that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I
he
think
was-
sometimes he gets stuck in between because he's not your regular like, oh well, I'll just hightail it out of here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He's not. I'm
Right,
going to
he's-
cut a promo, ditch the ring, so you can't touch me. He's,
Yeah. Well, and he's also like he's a bit Shawn Michaels-ish in that way, like heel Shawn Michaels, but he's not as chicken shit as Shawn Michaels. He's
No,
so it's-
yeah. He should
But-
be. He should be dipping out like, "Hey, MFer, like you can't touch me." Not like hit him a
Right.
couple times and he's bumping like Michaels. He's bumping around and running for the hills. No, I
Right.
don't. That's not MJF. Or if you ask
Right.
me, at least.
Well, and I'm going to tell you one of the coolest parts and the promo. This promo wasn't as good as the one he did a couple weeks ago, where the State of Wrestling or whatever. Was really good.
the 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
It
ago,
was
State of
good. It was
Wrestling.
so good, and I liked the little interplay when he's got with that girl that's beside him. And I love that you see the chart where it was like he's up 500% and
Yeah.
Moxley's
Yeah.
down 5,000%, some crap like that. All of it's made up,
Yeah.
but it was good. And I love the angle where he laid on the ground and they did the overhead camera.
Oh yeah,
That
Yeah.
was freaking
that was great.
I'm starting to think because they keep putting this in here. What's the black guy's name? Wes or Sean or something? I don't know his name, but they keep putting it in there where he keeps messing with him. I'm like thinking like, man, like is he going to cost him the match or like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they're doing that. Maybe I may be looking into it, giving AEW too much credit, or no, I guess I'm not because MJF's doing it. Maybe that's
Right.
going to come back to haunt him. I don't know.
So after this, we get a Matt Hardy interview, saying he'll be back August 22nd to defeat Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, that was good. And that was pretty rough. And they should, if you saw Being the Elite this week, they kind of closed in on that gash that he got on his forehead. That was pretty.
Yeah, I think it required like 12 or so stitches, something like that.
Yeah, 9 stitches, he said.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty decent shot hard way. That's gonna leave a scar.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, and what people don't understand is like, oh, well, it's just an accident. Well, yeah, but man, another inch, half an inch, I think would have hit him in the damn eye. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Like, listen, I know
Yeah.
obviously Sammy didn't do it on purpose, but oof.
Yeah, it's like this Sean, but if you go back to it, I mean, this is an AEW thing. We had Sean Spears, then he whacked Cody pretty good with the chair, and we got another chair headshot that's injured somebody, so they'll take some crap for it like they always do. But they're playing it well. I think it plays into the sort of the character that Matt was trying to sort of go back to just be Matt Hardy. I don't think that's possible, and I think this is kind of the way to bow out of that.
So Matt just shared something in the comments. Apparently, MJF has started a petition on change.org to get the paradigm shift banned.
Oh, of course he has. That's good though. I love it.
Yeah, he's
love
playing
it.
up that heel.
Yeah.
No, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like smart ass heel,
Yeah.
not chicken
Yes.
shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's what I like.
Yeah. So after Matt Hardy's interview, we have Cody defending against Scorpio Sky and Cody winning yet again. This is Mike Chioda's official AEW debut. And
Right.
after the match, Cody is immediately challenged by Brody Lee next week. Or is it next Saturday?
That's next Saturday, 6:05, baby, just like the old days.
Yep.
I tell me if I'm wrong here, Dwight. I love Cody, but I don't think I understood. I mean, maybe they with him coming out with everybody, maybe they tried to give it like a big fight feel. You know what I'm saying? Because they kind of booked it that way. But I just don't like the way. If Cody's going over, he's going over. You know what I'm saying? I'd argue that if they were just going to do that and have it roll right into that Brody angle, then he could have wrestled anybody there.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have burned. I would have burned that Scorpio Sky Bridge right there.
I don't.
But for him,
But
yeah, for him to. I mean, I'm not saying he should have went over clean, but like, man, like. I don't know. The ending looked weird because it was like two like back to back. So like they almost messed. I mean, they didn't mess anything up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean, and I guess you could say, oh well, he had two. It took two crossroads. I don't know. I just didn't like the way it looked, and
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
he
I mean,
did
it was-
pop
it
out
was
of the
great
first
work.
crossroads.
No, he did. So I guess if they're trying to say, it took two crossroads to put Scorpio Sky down, that's fine. I just didn't like
Yeah.
the way it looked. The way it looked.
Yeah, it just seemed kind of a waste.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, I still think Scorpio's got a singles run in him. So
we're all hoping
absolutely.
for it.
well, you saw Kazarian sitting over by himself too. That was kind of part
Oh,
of
also,
So-
this episode had I don't want to use the term fans because it was a select few non AEW related people were in the
Right.
stands.
Yes, yeah. I figured like friends and family, or close friends.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's I saw somebody post online like, yeah, we're here. We all had to be tested and all this stuff. And they all are like, it's all very much a, hey, yeah, we got invited, but we're not fans. We are close. We're close with the talent.
Yeah. I mean, if they're tested, then get
Yeah.
off their back. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I, you know what? I heard, if you've heard Jericho's podcast, from all the talk he's taking about having a show. I mean, honestly, it's like, okay, no one was forced to come to that show.
Yeah.
Everybody that came bought a ticket. Everybody assumed the risk, knew what's up, and it's like, it's just that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
if people feel like the risk is worth it or whatever, or if they trust the precautions that are being taken, okay, let's roll with it. But this whole thing, it's like, there's this gotcha thing that's happening now, and it's like people are out there cheering for something bad to happen so they
Yeah.
can be right.
Yeah.
No,
know?
yeah. Again, would I go to a concert? No. But people
Right.
have the right to do what they want.
Yeah.
If someone wants to go, let them go. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
mean, they can't be stopped.
Yeah.
Like, should they be wearing masks? I mean, a perfect world, yeah, sure. But at the end of the day, you can choose to
Mhm.
do or not do what you like.
Yeah. So let's continue. After Cody winning, we have the AEW World Tag Team champions of Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega going over Jurassic World with all of our favorite wrestler Marco Stunt at ringside.
No, and they're Jurassic Express, Ben.
yes.
We got to get this right.
Yes, Jurassic Express.
We don't want any copyright infringement going on
Yeah.
PWO.
Yeah. No. I mean, Jurassic World may be a good joke, but they are Jurassic Express. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just because the roster's still kind of thin in COVID. But I mean, I'm just tired of seeing Jungle Boy is a star, and we all know this. You said this 1,000 times. Luchasaurus is super green, and I'm tired of Marco Stunt. I don't know. Again, we see more Marco Stunt, so I got to watch Marco Stunt on my TV for longer, and then I see Lance Archer later, which I've always, I'm pro Lance Archer, and then they give him this weird spot. Like, well, I know what we'll do. He'll beat people up in the locker room, and then Jake the Snake will have Sharpie on his back that says "Everybody dies." Well, I'm glad he got that 30 seconds of that.
Yeah, here's
whatever
Marco
that
Stunt
was.
standing at ringside, getting in Kenny Omega's face and being used as a
Yeah.
projection or projectile, and Then we get
Right.
30 seconds of Lance Archer, who should be, you know, being built up as an actual like monster.
or doing more than beating up rando heels and everybody dies drawn in the back of,
Yeah.
you know, I don't
It's
know.
the same thing for me with Brody Lee. Why are we seeing more of Marco Stunt than Brody Lee?
Well, and you know, let me, if I can compare it as the old school person that I am, and the person I would usually compare Marco to is Spike Dudley, you know, and I think if you remember back in the ECW, like Spike Dudley was like, it was always like, what are you doing here? Like that was the thing, like, why are you out here? You got no business being here. And you know, he's just, you know, he's going to the ring and I'm going to be here and whatever like that. They don't play it like that with Marco. They play it like, no, he's one of the wrestlers. I guess.
No,
You know?
yeah. But Spike Dudley was tough as nails and could do some things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Marco
yeah.
Stunt's just like, you know, well, why is everybody getting on him? Like you said, he's a regular wrestler. He's not though.
Right. And
I
I
don't
don't know. I'm not emotional as you guys as get about him. But because I do see a little bit of that Spike Dudley possibility. They're just not using them that way, which I wish they would. I will say this. I loved the Luchasaurus calling out. He's like, hey, mom, it only took 65 million years to get a title shot.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
His mom is probably dead.
This Dwight, tell me what you think. This Omega and Hangman like turn. I just feel like, is it too late? Like I don't know. I mean I feel like it's the worst kept secret ever, and like we all know what's coming and it's fine. I just feel like they're just, and through COVID happened. Don't get me wrong, so it probably threw a wrench in everything. But man, I just feel like they're just dragging it and dragging it and dragging it. And I guess, you know, maybe later on in the show we may have an answer, but I don't know.
Mhm.
Yep. And then so after this match, we get finally Tag Team Appreciation Week coming to its big spot. We have the Young Bucks, FTR, Rock and Roll Express, Arn Anderson, and Tully all in the ring at one time.
Yep.
I'm just gonna read what a wrestling news source has on it real quick. FTR and Bucks put over the legendary teams before the Express, but before the Express calls the Bucks greatest team ever. While Anderson says FTR is the best team ever. Blanchard then says that the only thing that makes the team the best is having the titles, which
right.
neither FTR or the Bucks have. He then turns to Anderson and reminds him of what happened at All Out last year, which brings out Shawn Spears. Anderson leaves the ring, and Blanchard turns his attention back to Ricky Morton, who punches Blanchard before an all-out brawl breaks out. Dax Harwood goes down due to his knee after Cash Wheeler checks on him. The two attack the Express from behind. They then hit Morton with a spike pile driver, revealing that Harwood isn't really injured.
Right. So in other words, you got two old school tag teams in there, and they gave you a lesson on how to do this. First of all, they gave you a lesson on continuity, because they're like, oh, they're not, because Blanchard and Anderson aren't out there as the best buddies, right? And you know, they didn't forget that something happened between them, right? And they brought it back up, and we did, you know, and they got, of course, because we remember that it happened. This is like a lesson for stuff that they don't do. They pretend stuff that happened a month ago didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
And then the classic heel turn of faking the injury, that was so good. And then how old is Ricky Morton taking a spike pile driver?
That man should not be taking a spike pile driver.
But he can. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He can still go.
Okay, one, Ben, Ricky Morton can do whatever the hell he wants. He's Ricky Morton. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, I agree with you, Dwight. This was great. This is continuity. And another thing too is leave it to two old school tag teams who, like you just said, also show you like, hey, like we didn't like each other 35, 40 years ago, and we still don't like each other now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
kayfabe and everything else, and you can call it what you want. Like, you know, it's like, again, it's refreshing to see people that now with this modern style wrestling in the past 10 years, like, you know, they don't necessarily care about the match. They want to beat up the other person. And it's great. And I assume that's what I hope we get that with the Bucks, but we're at least going to get that with FTR. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, it was absolutely great. And Ricky Morton, again, is a piece of wrestling history that's walking this world and a national treasure. And FTR, I will never, root for you again with you putting your hands on Ricky Morton.
Ricky
there
Morton
you
is
go.
63.
Yeah, and taking pile drivers,
Yeah.
but and doing Canadian destroyers on NWA not just a few months ago. But hey, but here's the thing. They also had some spots where they had like Private Party and some of the other tag teams talking about who their favorite tag teams were.
Yeah.
Those spots went well too. I love the one with Hangman Page where he was like, "Are we the greatest tag team?" When he goes, "We're just two singles guys," which was hilarious.
That's what we've been saying for how long,
And-
Jeff?
And true.
I've been with you, Ben. Yeah, 100%.
And true. And then Private Party talking about the Hardys, which was, that was kind of cool. I think this was a good segment. We knew that they weren't going to be best friends. Come on, we knew the Bucks and FTR were not going to be best buddies. So here we go. We're getting ready for it. So I'm ready for it.
So we then have a backstage segment. Mike Chioda's getting interviewed. Jericho comes in and just tells him, "Do the right thing." Chioda just responds with he's going to be calling the match down the middle. Then we have Hikaru Shida defeating Heather Monroe in a non-title match. And then we have Orange Cassidy defeating Chris Jericho. The ending to this match was kind of rough for me.
Okay, so with Jericho and the Mike Chioda thing, I don't know. I mean, shocker, I didn't like that, but I mean, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like, sure, for continuity's sake, I guess. The Shida thing, I mean, they literally have nobody for her to wrestle right now.
Yeah.
So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not an Orange Cassidy guy. He won, but I guess, I don't know. I guess all the marks are happy.
Yeah.
The ending, he does use that mousetrap pin, but Jericho didn't. They botched it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or Jericho botched it. That's not how it's
Yeah.
necessarily supposed to go. Because I think he used that to beat Warhorse for the like Indie Pro champ or something like that. But yeah, like, so I don't know. Again, I still don't get why these two are wrestling.
Yeah.
And like I said in the thing, tell me what you think, Dwight. Jericho's gone, like I said, from like an awesome asshole heel to like a comedian.
Yes.
Right? Or
why is he still wearing his stained jacket to the ring?
and don't get me wrong, I said this before AEW even started. Chris Jericho is a legend. 99.9% of the stuff he does is gold, but everything he does isn't great. And I think he's teaching that. I mean, he's using, hey, Jericho, come to AEW and this can be your personal playground. And I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's always had that comedy angle to him. I mean, going back to WCW. I mean, this isn't something new.
No.
But I will say on this match, though, this is one of those things that you can't help but wonder that if we had crowds, if we had legit like fan feedback in the crowd, not just friends of friends who were cheering the baby faces and booing the heels like they're supposed to, but if we had legit fans, would the Orange Cassidy thing have already run its course? And I'm thinking probably it would have. Like, yeah, he was over as heck in the crowd, and he put on some that match with Pac was really good. And then it was going well, and now it's almost like it's past its sell-by date for me. But I mean, I like him, but it's like, all right, we get it. Now what are we gonna do?
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. And I also think that people get confused. The newer wrestling community, there's different types of over. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's over, like, hey, we want this guy to be heavyweight champion. There's over as in like, this is our guy. He can lose a million times, but he's our guy. And then there's over as in this guy's just over. He's not necessarily good. Well, I'm not saying he's not good at wrestling. He's a good wrestler. But there's over as in like gimmick over, and we're just going to pop for him. So there's different levels of over.
Yeah.
Right, and his is a gimmick. The gimmick is over because he doesn't talk on the mic, so he can't cut a promo that you are glued to the TV like MJF. He's a great worker. I mean, he's a good worker, a decent worker, but he's not Pac. He's that one of these guys that's just gonna he's not even really Hangman Page. So I think I think in this sense it's like, okay, maybe this is about as far as this is gonna go. So I don't know why he went over. That's just me.
Yeah,
and
that's
they're just milking it for as long as they can.
Yeah.
Well, and go ahead.
Yeah, no, my One of my issues with this, and again, I totally agree with what both of you guys are saying. It feels almost as Orange Cassidy is being brought up by the level of people he's facing, Jericho is also being brought down by facing Orange Cassidy.
I don't know that I agree with that because I don't think you really can bring him down. I
Yeah.
think Jericho's Jericho. And
Oh, no, I totally agree with you, but it feels like while you're trying to elevate Cassidy, it feels like Jericho's kind of taking like 3 steps down, willing or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, you're just making Jericho. He did so much good work on the initial heel side. Like, I'm better than you. Well,
Mhm.
I'm not better than you, but like, hey, I'm better than everybody else. I'm Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
now it's not that he's not better, but I don't know. He's almost just kind of moved like laterally. Like
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with you, Ben, a little bit. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think you can make him look bad per se,
Yeah.
but
I'm not saying
I don't
Chris
know.
Jericho, the whole package,
no,
is being
he's,
taken away from.
Yeah,
People are
he's
going to watch
fine.
Chris Jericho
He's-
because people are going to watch Chris Jericho.
Yeah, he's fine because he's Chris Jericho. I like I said, I think just that real heat that he had is just gone.
Yeah.
I don't know,
And
Mhm.
maybe that's just because fans aren't in.
and that's
the arena.
fair.
So. But yeah.
All right.
Another thing I kind of wanted to bring up with this match is both the Best Friends and the Inner Circle interfered.
Right.
In a very loose term, it's basically Pride and Powerful met Best Friends at the top, and then Hager ran in and hit Cassidy. Why did Mike Chioda leave the ring when?
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. It was the same thing we had with Bailey and Asuka a couple weeks ago when they're like, "Why are you getting disqualified for people that aren't even in the match that are fighting? Who cares?"
yeah, why are you paying attention to where the match isn't?
Right.
This is what I say all the time, and then Matt and Ryan tell me referee discretion. Look, again, I didn't know that referee discretion trumped the rules of the actual company. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, no, you're right. You're right. And as much as Mike Chioda is a professional, like there was another spot somewhere too where somebody threw some in a war. It was Rick Knox in that match. So somebody threw somebody out the ring, and like they went to run outside the ring, and he's like, "Oh no, you let him get in." Well, where do we do that in AEW? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah.
I guess I don't know.
But Jeff, since neither Ryan nor Matt are here, referee's discretion.
Yeah, it's the cover-all answer.
Let's move on to NXT.
Let's do it.
There's a few decent points I want to hit on. There's only one major point from NXT, and it's the first thing. Karrion Kross beats Danny Burch. Shocker there. Danny Burch was in the ring longer with Karrion Kross than Tommaso Ciampa was.
Wow.
How good.
Yeah. And then Keith Lee comes out with the contract, says, I've signed this, Regal has signed it, all that you need to do is sign it, throws it down, Scarlett grabs it, Karrion looks at it. I don't think Karrion Kross knows how to hold a pen because from what I saw, it looked like he was holding it with his fist, like a kindergartner's like drawing a picture.
Yeah.
And then it throws it back in the ring, and then Fireball comes out of the contract and apparently burned Keith Lee's face.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it sort of burned his face and sort of didn't do anything to his face if you looked at it.
It like singed like 3 hairs on his eyebrows.
Well,
Maybe.
that spot's not bad. If once the fireball opens up and burns him, they need to put something on his face immediately, and you don't see it. You don't.
You
see
don't
it at
show us
all.
his face again.
Right.
Yeah, you don't show him in the backstage frying his face up, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we can see somebody's eye poking through their thing, but we can't see. You know, they just should have and it's a wet towel, not a dry towel. They
Right.
should have just put a towel over his face and ran him to the back, and it would have been somewhat acceptable.
Yeah.
See, instead of hiring those soap opera writers, they should have got
Yeah.
Kevin Sullivan to come tell him how to do the fireball, man, because he knows how to do those fireballs.
Oh well, you're Jerry Lawler too.
Oh yeah, Jared King Lawler, all those guys know how to do fireballs, man.
People are saying Cross and Scarlet are fire mages or warlocks or sorcerers.
Okay,
I mean,
I'm not
Yeah,
commenting on that.
it was rough to watch. let's just go through the rest of this.
Although, let me just say, it was rough to watch, but from an old school perspective, I like the clipboard with the fireball in it. I loved it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. I liked it. And so I'm sorry. Wouldn't it be cool that if Eric Rowan had took the cover off his cage and a giant fireball came out? That would have been cool too.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We get Killian Dane versus Drake Maverick.
Yeah, sorta.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Santos Escobar beats Tyler Breeze. Fandango comes back out and gets beat up with everybody. He stomped on a mop head and took the mop head off of the mop handle.
Right. If you want to know why NXT fell out of the top 50 shows, it's this kind of stuff. I mean, we're going from, and we'll talk about it later on, because the Adam Cole promo stuff, like, that's why we watch NXT.
Yeah,
that was the stuff we watch NXT for.
Yeah.
And then, but it's like they're just trying so hard.
Well. Oh, good. Go, Dwight.
They're trying so hard, and it's just falling flat, man. Some of these guys are falling flat. It's not what it was.
Yeah, and I can tell you from experience, just being like coaching football, it's competition does strange things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a little bit of competition, I think that WWE's doing things. I mean, they're always doing hokey stuff. Don't get me wrong, but they're doing stuff that they wouldn't necessarily do, especially on NXT. And now NXT has become a shell of itself, which we all knew it would be.
Yeah.
But also with that said, like, it really, if again, WWE is heads above everybody else, minus New Japan in the wrestling department, but they have just as good wrestlers. So if they really wanted to be the best, they would. But it's that last word. It's that entertainment that they are stuck on.
Yeah.
Instead they bury Kushida.
Yeah. Something else I wanted to
Speaking of New
mention. Killian Dane and Drake Maverick ended in a no contest after Undisputed Era took to the ring and they shouted at Pat McAfee for a minute.
Right.
So moving on.
That's just a waste of a good promo. It's like, I mean, Adam Cole is gold, and he's cutting a promo on a guy from one of the sports channels. I mean, it's like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Mia Yim beats Indy Hartwell. Mia Yim suffers from Luchasaurus syndrome, where it feels like she is moving in slow motion.
She's a dinosaur?
It just feels like she has slowed down her pace significantly since her loss for the NXT women's title.
Which is weird, because I've seen her like a ton of times live, and she's great. She's she's tough as nails for a woman.
Yeah,
no disrespect.
Yeah, for sure. And especially in the stuff she did back when she was in TNA. She's top notch. I don't know if it's a thing of who she's with, because a lot of those when they moved Bianca and Shayna and that group moved up, some of those girls that were left were green, super green.
Yeah.
So and it shows, like, when you see Aaliyah in there with Mercedes Martinez. I mean, it is the contrast is so striking.
Yeah, and then the Mia Yim, I told you, has been stuck with she'll do, because, I'm not saying only because, but like I said, since she's tough as nails and she's done a lot of stuff in CZW, that she's been the body that they just throw her off the ladder and throw here and throw into this table, and she's just like a damn bump machine.
Yeah,
right.
For everybody else.
Yeah. People are wanting me to read off my dad's comment because we've been saying this now for 4 months.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell, WWE? Just a repeat every week. Like, they only have the same 4 women wrestle every Monday night.
He's not wrong.
He's not.
He's not wrong at all.
You all thought it was going to be a different comment.
No.
I was like, Charlotte's been off TV, so I don't know. I didn't know.
That's right.
Then we got a tweet by Pat McAfee saying he's going to be at NXT next week.
Oh, of course he is. He's got to punt somebody.
Yeah. We got to set up for 30.
You know what I hope? I hope Randy Orton comes and punts him. That's what I hope. But that's not going to happen. But
Why it's not going to happen? Aren't you so ready for Pat McAfee to punt Adam Cole, and then they'll name it like like the 4th and long or something like that, or or coffin kick, or it's coming. It's coming so
Right.
fast.
Yeah.
I just know that it just reminds me a lot of the other when you get celebrities involved, and you can do it well or you can do it poorly. And this reminds me a lot of like Jay Leno putting Hulk Hogan in the arm ringer and Hogan selling it. It's like Adam Cole should be looking at him and go, "You don't belong here."
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not working as a face against Pat McAfee, who's the heel.
Right. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I get the cross promotion. I get that they got Fox and they've got some, contractual obligations to do, and Triple H is working deals or whatever like that, and it's all part of the work. I get it, but I don't like it.
Yep.
Yeah, and I like my our old friend Mike D in the comments saying that he's ready for him to punt Adam Cole to AEW, and I'm not against that. But.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So then we get Bronson Reed defeating Damian Priest. It's kind of what you expect out of these two.
Yeah, I think both of these guys have been great over the past month, or probably even longer than that. But Damian Priest, it's cool, man, seeing him. Not come from Ring of Honor, but be a Ring of Honor guy who was just kind of big, and not that he was out of shape, but that indie, what I'm saying, and now he's like, he just looks amazing.
Yeah.
And I never would have thought it because I just hated him so much on the indies. But he's really great. He can talk. He looks the part, and Bronson Reed is just as good.
I think Bronson Reed is like, have you seen that meme where it says, we've got such and so at home, and then you get home? I was like, Bronson Reed is like, we have, Mom, I want Jeff Cobb, and he goes, we have Jeff Cobb at home, and it's Bronson Reed.
Yeah, oh yeah,
that is true though.
But I don't dislike him. I think that he doesn't talk bad. I mean, he's working his way into that spot. But to me, he occupies that same space as Keith Lee does on their roster, that same kind of person, and he ain't Keith Lee.
No,
that's just
no.
So, but I mean, I don't hate it, but I've always liked Damian Priest / Punishment Martinez.
Punishment.
I didn't like the nickname, but I liked him, and he does look way better, man. He's in great shape, man.
Right? Yeah.
Ready for big things.
Yeah. And then after that, we get Aaliyah and Mercedes Martinez versus Kaden Carter and Casey Catanzaro. You get Robbie Stone trying to get Casey to join the Stone brand and ditch Caden Carter. They say no. She stomps on his toes, and they were like, he just had his leg ran over like 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, so since when does somebody stomping on your toes affect your legs?
Yeah, but if this was AEW, people would be screaming continuity, and it's funny.
Yeah.
So,
kind of.
It goes both ways.
Yeah.
I'm not about it. I think the angle. I think it's falling flat on its face. I think they need to add some people to make it more.
It is. Yeah. But man, Martinez is great. She's great.
Oh yeah. Aaliyah Mercedes get the pinfall, and then Rhea Ripley comes out, clears ring. I forget who joins her. Somebody came out. Oh, Shotzi came out, helped her clear the ring.
And another thing too, I was listening while we have time. I was listening to some of our old podcasts, and Pat's out here talking about how Rhea Ripley's character. He didn't think her character was that good. but we had people on the show that are pirates. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Her character was good. It's not now.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Whatever it is now. She doesn't need to be a babyface. That's the thing. She needs to be a killer.
Yeah.
And they tried to portray her as a heroic. Going up against Charlotte, it wasn't going to happen, right?
No.
She needs to be But I will say this about the Robert Stone brand. It reminds me a little bit of like Bill Alfonso and ECW, you know. Well, so he needs like top people with him, right?
Yeah.
He needs
Yeah.
to have big like killers, and then he's the little, you know, cowardly
Yeah.
manager.
Yeah. His people are getting over so bad that you want to punch him in the face.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
But and they're not doing. I mean, they got Mercedes, but I would love to see Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez be the Robert
Yes.
Stone brand
Yeah.
as
Yes.
bad guys. That
Yeah.
would
Then you-
work for me.
Then you have something.
Right.
Yeah. Then we get a meh promo for the Garganos and how they're a power couple. And it's about screwing in a light bulb. Next time I climb a ladder, it's going to be for the NXT North American title.
I couldn't
It-
care less about Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no.
And then we get Timothy Thatcher giving us a lesson in Achilles tendon manipulation. And then we get a list of things going on next week. Pat McAfee, Adam Cole, El Legado de Fantasma will face Breezango and Swerve Scott, who came out to save Breezango.
Mm-hmm.
Gargano and Ridge Holland in a second chance qualifying match, and Finn Balor versus a mystery opponent in a second chance qualifying match. And then we get Cameron Grimes versus Kushida versus a mystery opponent that happens to be the returning Velveteen Dream.
The Dream.
DREAM.
Right. Who's now a heel in real life and
Yeah.
on television.
Yeah.
Well, Dwight, because real life stuff sells. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Whatever.
Cameron
lot of other people-
Grimes.
There's a whole lot of other people who can't get on television. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
You're
Cameron Grimes hitting the cave-in on Kushida as he has Velveteen Dream in a hoverboard lock. Grimes pushes Dreams out of the ring, covers Kushida, and wins the match.
Yeah.
Like Pat said, poor Kushida.
Yeah.
I know. I like Cameron Grimes. I liked him in Impact. I like Trevor Lee, but I will say that and I like his character here. I just first of all, I don't like triple threat matches anyway that aren't elimination matches. That's just
Yes.
my own personal preference because I think it's just chaos and it always ends up being kooky. Like, why would it ever end? Because everybody would want to just keep everybody else from winning. That's how in real life. But in this situation, that's kind of how it ended. So I can't hate it. I like Pat said too. I feel better. I feel bad for Kushida because I hope he's just in NXT to get paid because
Yeah.
that's really all that's happening for him.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then after the match, Finn Balor comes out and kind of stares down Velveteen Dream. Is Velveteen Dream the mystery opponent for Balor next week?
I mean, you would assume
That's what I would
so.
assume. That's what I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah.
I wish. Yeah, I don't
Swerve
mind
is-
seeing. It's like a double heel turn. Like
Yeah.
I don't get it because I thought that Balor was a heel in NXT, but apparently he's not.
Yeah. So that kind of is how NXT went.
Mhm.
I think really the only other major big news is from this week, from what I'm aware of, is Randy Orton punting, I guess we could call it.
Mhm.
The legendary Ric Flair and taking Ric Flair out. And it was just a weird scenario. Granted, Ric Flair is, like 90 years old and has been in the hospital for,
Well, he said he was 73 or whatever, 70.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
but and then they turned the lights off so they didn't actually see the punt too, which
Yeah.
was kind of
And
strange.
he didn't take him down with an RKO or any sort of wrestling move. It was, here's a between the legs uppercut punch to the nuts, and I'm gonna lay you down
Yeah.
slowly.
Right. Yeah.
It felt very
Yeah.
not Randy Orton, but very Randy Orton at the same time.
Well, actually, and that's actually perfect. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna
Was.
hit you in the nuts and then slowly caress your body down and then punch you in the head. You're right.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
Mhm.
again, it shows you that Ric Flair is the best promo of all time. No
Mhm.
matter what,
Yeah.
heel,
Yeah, it
face,
was good.
cry, happy. I mean, he is the best. He can pull whatever he needs to pull whenever he wants. th-
Mhm.
this angle, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I think obviously they're writing Rick off the TV, but I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back and like still like helps Orton win, and then then Orton's all flabbergasted or something, like, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
What I've heard, the rumor is that it's going to lead to Charlotte against Randy Orton in an intergender match. That's that's some of the
No.
rumors that's going around.
That's not
And
The
gonna
rumors
happen.
it's going to be Randy Orton versus Charlotte.
Yep, and I don't know how
That
I feel
won't
about that.
happen.
I don't know how I feel about that, but hey, so we skipped right over. We're not going to talk about the Impact results at all. I mean, come on, guys.
If you want to lead them, go for it, Dwight.
Well, Eric Young defeated Willie Mack. That was a good. Then we got a little Good Brothers promo. I'll do it
Yep.
fast.
Let's roll.
Oh,
Wrestle House. We're going to pretend that didn't happen, but it did, and so I'm not going to talk about that anymore. On that, then we had Kimberly and Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace defeated Kimberly. I remember Kimberly being a lot better than she is so far in Impact. She's not bad, but I've seen her on the Indies and she looked a lot better. But anyway, it was a decent match. Then we got Heath. Hashtag Heath for Impact.
he
is
has
going
kids.
on. That's
He has kids,
yeah,
guys.
he's got kids and he's a free agent, so he wants that to go down. Then we had another Katie Forbes and RVD locker room talk with. I don't even talk about Madison Rain and that. Blah blah blah.
I was about to
We've seen it
say.
before. Looks like so Trey Miguel stole Suicide's mask from the locker room and puts it on, and then Moose gives Suicide an invitation for the TNA World Heavyweight title, and it's actually Trey Miguel. So does Trey have a shot at it? We don't know. Then we had the triple XL Larry D defeated AC Romero with Cody Deaner as the referee, as part of Wrestle House, blah, blah, blah. Deanna Purrazzo's coming out. She's going to, we're going to have, for the Great Emergence, she's going to go against, give that rematch to Jordan Grace. And then they're building up to the Motor City Machine Guns against the North again. God, I can't wait till that happen. Kira Hogan and Tasha Steelz against Havoc and Nevaeh in a no DQ match. Kira and Tasha go over. And then let's see. The Good Brothers are mad because Ace remember they got him arrested. Got him arrested last week. And so they're gonna go out of the ring and they're not leaving until Madman Fulton and Ace Austin get out there. Then EC3 is playing around with Moose, Suicide with Dez and Wentz. Suicide against Dez with Wentz. It ends in a no contest. So blah blah blah. I'm gonna skip to the end. And we had the Eddie Edwards against Brian Myers for the Impact World Championship. How about Brian Myers? How about that? You go from having the longest losing streak in the history of wrestling to wrestling for a world title. How about that? But he lost. So it was a good match.
Right
though.
at the gate. No, it
It
was.
was a good match. It was a good match. So, but anyway, keep watching Impact Wrestling, and then I'm loving Impact in 60, which is where they show replays of older matches, and they did tag teams this week to continue that theme, which is awesome. So we have to see some really good matches, like the aforementioned Generation Me / Young Bucks, versus Motor City Machine Guns, which was a classic. Dude. Loved it. So anyway, that's Impact for this week.
Yeah. Something else I've totally forgot about, because I chose to forget about it, was Raw Underground continued to be a thing.
It was better. It was better.
It was better.
Good.
But
it wasn't good, but it was better.
Yeah. But we also had a guy basically grab another guy by his dick and just walk him around the ring before like power slamming him.
There was no flip this time. I was surprised.
Yeah, no flip.
Yeah, but I don't get it. Why didn't the little guy grab the big guy in the wiener, man? That's that's the move, right? The big guy doesn't grab the little guy's wiener.
We're also forgetting about Retribution. So my thing is this. So we have a show that starts off in the first 28 minutes. I think me and Dwight timed out. You had one match, you know what I'm saying? Or you had about 15 minutes before you even got into a match.
Wasn't even really a match.
It wasn't a match. So they brutally beat
Dominic Mysterio. Say his name right.
Oh yeah.
Dominic Guerrero. and they really beat him into a pulp, which is great. You know, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? And then later on in the show, they have Randy Orton punt, punt Flair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so two, hardcore, pulling on your heartstrings type moments, and then we just have Retribution running around doing God knows what and turning the lights off.
Yeah.
And then, I didn't think about this until the other day when I was watching. So I remember we said, and everybody saying that like the people out there, the people out there in the Retribution costumes, said wrestlers aren't the actual wrestlers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they are stand-ins until they pick an official people to become.
And that's the thing. And I didn't think about that for whatever reason. I was like, well, that makes me care less. You know how WWE is. They'll care about Retribution for another 2 weeks and then we'll never hear from them again.
Yeah.
But so they don't even know who in the hell they want in this thing. You know what I'm saying? And which Dwight, remember I popped you a couple weeks ago, like, so we're booking it out in October, because by that time we'll have time to book it. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Not understand that's going to be happening. Hey, how about New Japan Cup USA? You want me to tell you what happened there too?
I was just about to mention that. If you want to take it, go for it, Dwight.
All right, so we had the first round. We had the opening round for New Japan Cup USA. Obviously, I do believe that's a single elimination format. So on the opening night, we had Kenta defeating Carl Fredericks from the LA Dojo. Got him with the go to sleep. Then we had Jeff Cobb taking out Tonga Loa because we can't have God going against each other eventually. But anyway, so it was a pretty short match. Tour of the Islands, he wins. Then David Finlay defeated Chase Owens in a surprisingly good match. Yeah. Not really surprisingly. Both of those guys work. They're good workers.
Yeah.
And then Tama Tonga defeated Brody King. So all those Brody King haters out there, we know who you are. You got your wish, and Tama Tonga took him out. Although his new look, I don't know about that, man. He's looking. I'm noticing the group chat, and we were talking about him. I think he kind of looks a little bit like the artist formerly known as Prince Iakea.
Who I had on my worst gimmicks and ring music. But go ahead.
Yeah, they were pretty short matches, and good. I mean, they were easy to watch, decent matches. Although the Jeff Cobb versus Tonga Loa match went like you would expect a Jeff Cobb versus Tonga Loa match to go. And so that brings up the semifinals next week: Jeff Cobb versus Kenta, Tama Tonga versus David Finlay. So everybody has still got Kenta on your bracket. You're in good shape.
I still have show, guys. I still have show. You're counting show out.
Oh, Lord.
We see how that went for you, buddy.
Apparently Jeff Cobb is signed somewhere else that is not New Japan, but he will not announce it.
Okay.
Or is signed somewhere and will not announce it. Does not necessarily rule out New Japan.
Well, on his Twitter, he said he's waiting for the contract to arrive from the Orlando Magic. That's what he said. So sounds like probably a work. I'm just gonna guess.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other wrestling news that is either from this week or?
Yeah, I do. Let me just say that if you're not on wrestling Twitter, save yourself the trouble and don't get on it ever. Okay. Because it is the one of the most toxic things ever. You can't really do what we do and express opinions and talk about them normally because people go bonkers to the nth degree.
Twitter has given people the right to bitch, moan, and complain about every little thing. And if your opinion doesn't match theirs, they, randomly spout off at you. And you're like, what did I do wrong for having an opinion?
I basically got called a white supremacist bigot today because I dared to say that Becky Lynch was not a bigger star than John Cena.
How dare you, Dwight?
And I'm like, I didn't think that was controversial. I know that Jim Cornette got some people worked up about that, but it's like, look,
how did you comparing two white people
Let me
Get you called a white
Man,
supremacist.
I don't know, dude. That's
Let-
Twitter. Hello, Twitter. That's what it
Let-
is.
Let me clear my name. That was sarcasm. Just throwing it out there.
I hope it's. I hope. I don't know, but it was like. Well, someone said there. He said there hasn't been a big star in WWE since John Cena, and someone said, but Becky Lynch begs to differ. I went, no. I mean, Becky Lynch, yeah, that was a good run for a year and a half, but that ain't
she
John
was on
Cena.
She was
on a heater.
Yeah.
She's
Right.
not the franchise.
She was
That's
a hot
that's-
flash in the
yeah.
pan for a year, and she was
Yeah.
hot, and everybody loved her. But she was not at John Cena level.
No.
Well, no, and even if she wasn't for it as long as John Cena was. And
Yeah.
also, I did give her credit because I mean it was more organic. Cena was way more manufactured, but
Yeah.
but the whole point was, Cornette got controversy because he basically was saying that she got pregnant and she was the top draw and all that stuff or whatever, and that was controversial, and it is. But the thing is, if you take away the feels part of it and go, yeah, but it's pretty unfortunate that you're in the prime of could possibly be the only huge run at the top that you ever get.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong, and yes, he's a jerk, but
Yeah.
it's like I could see where he's coming from, but people just went nuclear with it, and so it was like, I understood it, but I'm like, yes, you can't talk rationally about anything,
Yeah.
so I just
No.
gave up.
That's why I try to avoid wrestling Twitter because it is.
Oh, that I don't get on. Well, I'm already in the minority anyway about wrestling. So, and I'm old school. So there's no point of me being on it anyway. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm
I'm
not white supremacist, by the way, just to clear
Oh,
that up.
Dwight, I mean, I thought I knew that, Dwight, but thank you for
Dwight, if
thank
you
you for
actually
doing-
were, we may have to consider you being on this podcast.
Yeah, some douche on Twitter begs to differ, though. I guess.
Dwight. I thought you weren't, but thank you for doing me a solid. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. Just just to put that out there. Whatever.
Let's see.
What we got coming up, man? We got no AEW next week because it's going to be on Saturday because of the NBA.
Yeah.
So it looks like NXT is trying to stack their card next week.
Yeah.
Because they're going unopposed. It's not a bad idea. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
And then because it's almost going to be like a pay-per-view really next. If you think about it. So
And then the week after that is 30 and SummerSlam, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. 23rd. So yeah. So that week. That's so we got some exciting stuff coming up. Hopefully they do something with it.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that AEW is kind of playing into the fact that they're getting preempted by the NBA and going, no, we're gonna make it a big deal when we have these Saturday shows and make it like a pay-per-view for free.
Yeah.
I like that. So we'll see because we're gonna watch either way because that's what we do. But and then we'll complain about it on here.
Yeah. I had something I was gonna say. And I totally forgot. Referee's discretion.
Hulk Hogan's birthday was this week?
Yeah, it was. Referee's discretion was late this week. I'm not sure if it actually got out. Cod Sinclair, our personal referee, had some technical issues and was unable to get it out on Sunday at the normal time. It should be out again this Sunday, hopefully. And the episode that was supposed to be previous Sunday should be out by now. I haven't checked.
Yeah, I heard a Tokyo pimp came in his house and smashed his phone. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I mean, if you can't, unless you have video evidence, which I don't think any of us are WWE and have cameras in everybody's home.
Yeah.
I that's what I'm believing.
Or AEW with cameras in cars.
Listen, you don't destroy Sue's car.
No,
Also, Pride and Powerful took Sue's clothes and put it under the shower and poured a ton of bleach on it.
Oh God! It was bleach. That's what it was. He thought that's all his stuff's ruined. Oh my gosh! Proud and Powerful. It's like a New Japan and AEW came into Ryan's place and just ransacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't.
No holds bar.
They're both disqualified, by the way, because he's a referee. I don't know if you know that.
He's thrown both of them out of his house by this point.
They're out of here.
You gotta do the whole like wind up and then toss them.
There we go.
Well,
Sorry, Ryan. That was for you, Ryan. That was for you.
that was for you, Ryan. I don't have anything. Do you guys have anything?
Yeah, man. Hey, Whiskey Tango 6, August 21st at Billiken Smokehouse in Fredericksburg. Come out and see us. Rock and roll. It's outside, so you can distance and do all that. And if you don't want to, you can't come. I mean, you don't come. That's fine. I don't hate anybody if they don't come. But if you want to, you can.
Will you
I'm
be
not
playing
a bad
Freebird?
And I'm not bad and I'm not a bad person for playing rock and roll outdoors. Sorry.
Will you play Freebird?
No, we will not. But there may be something else there.
Uh,
If you come, I'll play Freebird solo. How about that?
I'll
man?
take it.
Ooh.
I will take it. Jeff, do you have anything?
No, just again support wrestling and everybody stop being such assholes. I mean, I know that's a hard concept, but I don't know, just look at somebody else's opinion for once, for the love of who knows.
and it's okay if it's different than yours.
Yeah, it doesn't make them a bad person.
I know this is on short notice, but will you play Judas or Soulshine? Judas by Fozzy, Soulshine by I forget who.
Is that Soulshine by the Allman Brothers or by
Yes.
Government Mule?
Yes, Government Mule.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
My dad
Yeah,
will.
sure.
What?
One of the two will happen for you.
My
Freebird,
dad's
all-
favorite song is Soulshine, and if you play it, he will come.
Okay, I'm gonna have to learn it really quick. It's not that hard. It's blues. So
Yeah.
Is the man in the box on the docket?
you know it is.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Yep.
Yeah, it is, baby.
With that being said, please like, share, subscribe, comment, like our
No,
Instagram, Twitter,
Keep your
YouTube.
comments nice. No mean comments.
Yes, let's keep our comments nice. Let's have respectful and positive talking with each other.
That's right.
With that, I
There we
say
go.
let's put it at 10. Let's work our way back. We've been PWO. We'll see you next time.
We're out of here.